Hello everyone, and welcome to Coffee and Crypto with me, Don. Let's get straight into the news, shall we? We have quite a few things to cover, including the most exciting part about XRP. So for everyone that knows us very well will know that we're big fans of XRP, and there are some updates that I want to share with you later on in the video. So, first things first, coffee in hand, crypto on my screen. Let's chat the news. So, first things first then, the Ethereum Shanghai hard fork is due to go live in April. It is April 12th, I believe, so we've got about 2 days to go before it goes live, and a lot of people are expecting big things, like myself. I'm a big fan of Ethereum, have done for a long time. I've been buying Ethereum since it was about $200 or less, and still hold on to those exact same Ethereum, simply because I don't really want to sell them, knowing that I'll never get them for cheaper than what I paid for them back then. But yeah, so news like this is exciting for me and many Ethereum holders. Let's read over this article and hopefully I can fill you in with a bit more information on what's actually going on with this Shanghai hard fork. So, the news headline then, the Ethereum Shanghai hard fork, ETH price set for more gains versus Bitcoin in April. Exciting headline there. So Ethereum's price has gained momentum in April, even against Bitcoin, as the much anticipated Shanghai hard fork is just days away, and that is 2 days away. Now, Ethereum dropped by over 7.5% in its Bitcoin pair in 2023, but Ethereum/BTC, so that's the Ethereum to Bitcoin pair, may wipe its year-to-date losses entirely in April, as Ethereum's long-awaited Shanghai hard fork is just days away. I feel like I've already said that. The upgrade is set for April 12th, enabling Ethereum stakers to withdraw around 1.1 billion ETH in rewards, worth over around $2 billion as of April 8th. The price has gone up a little bit since then, but it will be there or thereabouts, about the 2 billion mark. Now, many experts, don't know who these experts are, but many experts have, the hard fork as bullish for Ether for the long term. For instance, the Shanghai buzz has helped Ether outperform Bitcoin in April. And this is really important, this part here where it says the Shanghai buzz. I guess this is the hype train that we're used to in crypto. A bit of a buy the rumour, sell the news type of event, perhaps. But we will find out, I guess, in a few days' time. As a result, the ETH and BTC pair has risen by about 4.75% month to date to reach 0.066 BTC as of April 8th, a nearly 8% rebound since March 20th. So, quite clearly, it's outperforming Bitcoin. Both still performing really, really well. So, Bitcoin is obviously up quite a lot, as well as Ethereum. But Ethereum is slightly better and outperforming Bitcoin for these reasons, potentially. Is it by the rumour, sell the news? It probably is, like most things in crypto news. Now, the bounce was largely expected, particularly with the ETH/BTC pair dropped to its historical ascending trendline support, which you'll see here in this graph. Now, the upside move raises the prospects of extended bullish retracement towards its descending trendline resistance. Again, this is marked in the sell zone, which is just this chart below. This was published by someone called Bitcoin Walla. I'm not too sure who that is, but they're obviously good friends with Cointelegraph. Now, the fractal-based outlook puts Ether on target for 0.075 BTC by June. Now, one thing I would say is don't get put off when I'm talking about this year or what it actually means, rather than a dollar amount, which we're used to. The reason being is simply because this article is really kind of honing in on the point of the ETH and Bitcoin pairing rather than ETH to USD. So that's why it's kind of measured in the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin rather than dollars. But yeah, you could work that out quite easily enough. So this should be by June, so a couple of months away. Up 10% versus the current price levels. Meanwhile, the pair's upside target for April appears to be at its 50 3D exponential moving average, which is the red wave, as you can see again on this chart. So I guess to put this a bit more in a kind of easier way to understand, essentially what it's saying is that these charts point to Ethereum being up 10% from its current price over the next few months. Now, do I believe that can happen? Yes, very much so. Of course I do. I'm a big ETH fan. One thing to remember though, as I've mentioned it twice already, is buy the rumour, sell the news. We must be aware of the potential price decrease after April 12th. Just because, as it says kind of on this article, where is it? Up here somewhere. This part here. So Ethereum stakers will be able to withdraw around 1.1 billion in ETH rewards. So just be careful of people selling their parts of their ETH rewards that they've held on to for a year or two. So it could potentially cause a little bit of volatility over the course of this week. So we'll keep you updated. We will be live every day this week, so we'll keep you updated on how the price of Ethereum is moving. But just wanted to bring this news because it is very exciting, because it's been a long time coming, and the prices have been quite positive recently on, well, all of crypto, but especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and this will definitely have some sort of action for Ethereum. So moving swiftly on to the next part of the news, we chat on Mr. Peter Schiff. So everyone should know who Peter Schiff is. If you don't know, get to know. He is a massive gold bug and I guess a bit of a Twitter personality, if we can call him that. If you're on crypto Twitter, which I'm assuming 100% of you watching this video are, then you probably follow Peter Schiff just for the banter rather than actually listening to what he has to say. However, this article is a little bit about the US dollar and not gold, hence why I am covering it. US dollar, obviously the past few months, but more recently the past few weeks, has been in a bit of a decline due to obviously bigger countries like China, Russia, and whatnot, kind of going against the US dollar and wanting to start their own dollar, or their own world reserve currency, should I say, which is obviously then causing the price of the US dollar not to look so good, which could be why crypto is doing so good, because normally when the dollar does poorly, crypto does quite well. So this could be one of the main reasons. Now, the headline states, economist Peter Schiff advises get rid of your US dollars now and warns USD's reserve currency status is in jeopardy. So, the Mr. Peter Schiff then has urged people to get out of their US dollars now, as a growing number of countries have escalated their efforts to reduce their dependence on the US and the USD. Quote here from Mr. Schiff: the dollar's reserve currency status is in jeopardy, as is the American standard of living. That depends on it. The best move you can make is to mitigate your personal loss, is to divest of dollars and dollar-denominated financial assets. So this should come as no real surprise that a man like Peter Schiff, who is, again, like I said, quite well known in the investment side of things, but also just on Twitter and in the news, he's telling you to get out of the US dollar. Why is that? Considering he is a US, well, he's not a US citizen. I think he actually stays in Puerto Rico, but he is from the US and he is an American, quote unquote. But why is he telling you to get out of the US dollar if that's his kind of native currency? So Goldbug and economist Peter Schiff has urged US dollar holders to get rid of their USD now. He tweeted on Friday, how much clearer does the writing on the wall need to be? Get rid of your US dollars now, while there's still enough people who still can't read it. So this does come down to, like I said, the other big kind of countries in the world, Russia, China being the main two, now not wanting to use the US dollar as a world reserve currency. It's been the world reserve currency for a long time, and it was seen as the strongest currency in the world, hence why it's now used as the kind of main currency in the world. But as of lately, it's not quite been the same, and that could be largely down to the inflation that the US has caused, or it could be to do it with who's in charge of the country and where it's going, where the country's going. So yeah. Anyway, I'll read this little part here because it's about Saudi Arabia, which is quite interesting as well. So his tweet was prompted by an article titled "Saudi Arabia, Southeast Asian nations swipe left on US dollar dependence," which highlights the mounting efforts by countries in Southeast Asia and the Middle East, particularly Saudi Arabia and the ASEAN nations. So it's ASEAN, I think that's how you pronounce that, to reduce their reliance on the US and the dollar. The Turkish Central Bank also recently unveiled measures to ramp up their de-dollarization efforts. You're starting to see a bit of a kind of trend here that pretty much every country in the world that used or depended on the dollar is going against the dollar and wanting to either use their own currency, or they're happy to jump on whoever kind of creates the next currency to follow, or whichever one is going to be chosen. Peter Schiff tweeted on Thursday, "The dollar's reserve currency status is in jeopardy, as is the American standard of living, and it depends on it." I've already kind of mentioned that. "The best move you can make to mitigate your personal loss is to divest of dollars and dollar-denominated financial assets." Obviously, I've already read that tweet kind of further up, but just to kind of reiterate the message, shall we say. But yeah, I guess the moral of the story here, without getting any further into it, the US dollar is not looking good. It's not looking good, bruv. So if you do hold US dollars, which I'm assuming most of you don't, then feel free to jump out of them. This is also a lot of people on YouTube have said, YouTube and Twitter, I guess, have been saying to jump out of US dollar into Bitcoin, and it could cause a flood of money to come into Bitcoin, because America is obviously one of the largest and most powerful countries in the world. Well, if they don't feel comfortable holding their own dollars, where should they feel comfortable? Could it be Bitcoin? It could be. So that is potentially the reason that some people are saying we're seeing a lot of increase in price in Bitcoin recently, because people are jumping out of dollars and putting it somewhere safe where they can make money, but it's also not really governed by kind of a higher power as such. So interesting to see, but yeah, we shall see how the dollar survives or not. Moving on. The next part then is about, again, surprise, surprise, the United States of America. Let me just drink some of my coffee and then we'll crack on. Coffee is disgusting sometimes. Right, so headline, the report: Binance US struggles to secure a banking partner amid regulatory crackdown on the crypto industry. So this whole article it could be a little bit of FUD, to be honest, but it is also to do with the fact that the banking crisis that we've seen in the US recently, where big banks have essentially gone bust, something that we haven't seen since the financial crash of 2008. But let me carry on with this article. So, following the collapse of Silvergate Bank, Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, cryptocurrency companies have been seeking new banking partners in the United States. According to a recent citing, sources familiar with the matter, Binance US, which is the American subsidiary of the cryptocurrency exchange, is having difficulty finding a US banking partner. Now remember, Binance US and Binance are technically two different companies. Obviously they still share the whole kind of same thing. They are still Binance, but the licenses and stuff are different. So, unnamed sources say that Binance has unsuccessfully sought to establish US banking partners. The Wall Street Journal reported on Saturday that Binance US is experiencing difficulty in finding a US banking partner. Currently, Binance US customers have been informed that certain USD deposit services will temporarily be unavailable. Binance US stated that it was transitioning to a new banking partner and services would resume once the process was complete. However, sources quoted by the Wall Street Journal, I won't mention their names, they indicate that Binance has faced challenges in finding a banking partner. The report states that Binance US has allegedly attempted to establish connections with several specific banks following the collapse of the 3 crypto-friendly US banks. Now, let me just cover this little quote here and then I'll go into a bit more detail. But Binance US has unsuccessfully sought to establish direct banking relationships with banks, including Cross River Bank, the New Jersey-based lender that serves some crypto and financial technology firms, and Customers Bancorp Incorporated, a Pennsylvania-based regional bank. Now, the reason why this is first of all, a headline and an issue is the past few weeks we have seen obviously a massive shift from particularly the US government, but the governments in general, kind of going against crypto and trying to close all ways for people to get on and off of crypto. We have seen it a little bit ramp up in the UK as well, where some banks are making it more difficult to move your money from your bank account to a crypto exchange. And this seems to be a bigger plot that they're trying in the world at the moment to crack down on crypto once again. Remember, we're still technically in a bear market, so it's the perfect time for them to be doing it, to keep the fear at a maximum, so that you don't continue to try or attempt to invest in crypto while it's low in the anticipation of the upcoming bull market, so that you can then kind of buy low, sell high, essentially. So it could just be a huge government strategy, which, put your kind of tinfoil hats on, it could be. They are trying to stop people investing in crypto as much as possible, especially when the prices are so low. So essentially, this is what this article is trying to kind of point out, that there's been 3 crypto banks, or crypto-friendly banks, have been shut down, and ever since then, the SEC in particular and other governing bodies have been on a crackdown for crypto. So again, it's not looking good, bruv. However, it's a very, very kind of common sight that we see, particularly at the bottom of bear markets. I wouldn't say we're at the bottom of a bear market anymore. We're about 3 months out of that now, I would say. We're on the uptrend. But yes, we are still in a bear market nonetheless. So these are the types of things that you'll see in a bear market. So get used to them. Not long now though, before we switch. What is it? Brad Garlinghouse? Is it flip the switch? Not long until we flip the switch, to quote Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. Okay, so moving swiftly on to the XRP news, which I will dive into straight away. So this is a tweet put out about a week ago, I think it was, April 6th. Oh no, well, yeah, 4 days ago. 10 things the XRP community needs to get right. So this is just, again, this guy Sir Clown Sniper is part of the XRP community and has tagged David Schwartz, who again you'll know is the CTO at Ripple, quite active on Twitter, which is what we like to see. But he essentially replied, which has caused XRP community to go wild, because it kind of clears up some myths, some rumours, or just some questions that people who follow XRP or in the XRP community wanted to know. So I'll list these 10 things we'll hopefully clear up any questions. So, number 1, XRP can't be pegged to gold, silver or anything else. Number 2, XRP can't magically just become a stablecoin, which is quite funny because it looked like a stablecoin for months because the price just didn't seem to move much from like 30 odd cents. So that's quite funny, that one. But obviously that's not an actual stablecoin, let's be real. Number 3, stablecoins issued on the XRP ledger are not XRP. Number 4, The XRPL, which is the XRP ledger, requires electricity to operate. Number 5, XRP can only exist on the XRP ledger, otherwise it is an IOU. Number 6, XRP has nothing to do with ISO 20022. This is quite a kind of big question. It's come up the past few weeks in particular. Number 7, Interledger doesn't require XRP. Number 8, all the money in the world will not run across the XRPL. Number 9, the US government is not going to buy back your XRP. And finally, number 10, RippleNet is totally different from the XRP ledger. So, some of them in there you've probably never asked yourself or care about. A lot of people just care, when's the price going to go to $5 or whatever. So, if you are that person, none of this will affect you. However, if you are a bit of an XRP fan or part of the community, then this will help a lot. Now, the reason, like I said, it kind of blew up on Twitter is because David Schwartz has replied simply with, all of these things are true. Now, he did go on to quote tweet, the whole thing, which I won't go into because it is quite lengthy, but I do recommend, like I said, if you are interested in the XRP community, the ledger, and finding out a little bit more about this in detail, if you just simply go on David's page on Twitter, he kind of, like I said, quote tweets this tweet I've just read and goes into each point. So it's 13 points he actually makes here, and explains a little bit more about each point in detail. So I do highly recommend that you, well, if you're an XRP fanboy like myself and this channel, that you go check it out. And finally, on some more XRP news to finish up this news for today. A lawyer lays out his reasoning on why XRP is not a security, which is what we've been saying since 2020. So Jeremy Hogan, we all know him by now, we all love him by now, but to kind of go into this in a series of tweets from April 9th, which was yesterday, Hogan explained that in his opinion, XRP could only be considered a security under the definition of an investment contract, as it doesn't fit the other definitions of a security such as a stock or bond. Hogan argues, however, that in the United States Security and Exchange Commission has not demonstrated an implied or explicit investment contract in its suit against Ripple. So again, if you have been living under a rock the past nearly 3 years, I guess, 2.5 years, Jeremy Hogan has been on the case. He is a lawyer in America and is also an XRP fan and knows his way around courts, papers and what's going on in court. So he's been leading the case. He's not part of the case, but he's been leading the case on Twitter. So again, there is a full quote tweet that you can go check out on Jeremy Hogan's page, but just to kind of read the first part here, the number one reason why XRP is not a security. First, under the legislation definition of a security, XRP can only possibly fit under the definition of an investment contract. It's not a stock or bond, etc. Even the SEC coincides this investment contract. So again, I'm not going to go into the whole thread, the whole breakdown of what Jeremy Hogan said, but please do read the full conversation on his Twitter. Instead, it argues that the purchase agreement is that all is required, and that is all that it proves, Hogan stated. So again, if you all don't know by now, the SEC initiated this lawsuit back in December of 2020. I think it was like 2 days or the day before Christmas. I think it was. I can't quite remember the date. But yeah, so it's been ongoing for about 2.5 years. There has been a lot of hype I keep saying the past few weeks, but realistically, the past few weeks there has been a lot of hype in crypto, hence why I keep saying the past few weeks. But the past few weeks have shown a lot of hype regarding especially the XRP price has been going up to like 58 cents at one point. Now currently sits at that 50 cents mark and has done the past week. But there's been a lot of chat that the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is coming to an end, and it was supposed to come to an end, or there was going to be a decision or something at the end of March, which there wasn't obviously given at the end of March. However, the hype still begins to loom, simply because it's been going on for so long. We know that the end is in sight. When is that end in sight? I don't know. I wish I could tell you. We get asked that quite often, and I've kind of gave up giving a time frame because it's been 2.5 years. I would love to have seen it end a year ago, obviously. But then again, if it ended last year in a horrible, horrible bear market, would it have helped the price of XRP? Probably not that much, because nothing was really happening in crypto last year. So maybe it's a good thing that it has lasted so long, and it might just be timed to perfection for now. The markets are starting to heat up, or have been heating up since January. But yeah, only time will tell with the the Ripple lawsuit. It's key that we get that right. It's the Ripple lawsuit. It's not the XRP lawsuit. XRP is a token that's from Ripple, but it's Ripple that is being sued by the SEC. Anyway, on that light note of being sued, that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in for this coffee and crypto. Don't forget, I think I had one sip of my coffee, which is probably now cold, but Coffee and Crypto is a new segment on the channel, so please make sure that you do subscribe and that you have post notifications turned on. That's most important, because I will aim to get live every morning around 9 AM, 9:30, but there may be times where I go earlier or a little bit later, and the best way to find out if I'm live is simply to have post notifications on. So please also like this stream, rewatch the stream if you forgot to but if you didn't tune in early enough, wait till I post it on the channel, watch it back, share it to your friends, tell everyone to join in and watch this new segment called Coffee and Crypto. But yes, my name's Don. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow for another episode of Coffee and Crypto.